Got it. There we go. Done. And I believe we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Concordia, Consularis, the spiritual and business agency of peace. Why am I smiling? Why am I smiling this morning? Because we are about to engage in a process of resolution that is going to reactivate so that you can remember a key part of your sacred selves. So it's going to be a real joy to take this voyage with you this morning. But first, very quickly, if you would like a session with myself, you know where to find me. I'll leave the links below. If you would like a retreat to spend 7 days in a purely transformational state of healing the physical body and the soul simultaneously, using some hugely advanced techniques and technology. You could also find me there too in the link below. And I'm going to start heavily promoting an event that is going to take place in February. And that is the Quantum Love Experience. This is really, really important for how you function on Earth today as a being that expresses love through physical form. You are a spiritual being having a very human physical experience. So if you can be in the best state, the strongest, most resilient love state, emanating through your entire being all the time in everything that you do, say, live and be, this is going to dramatically help you to shift past old belief systems, structures, and there is a great deal of resolution of sexual trauma here. So you will absolutely enjoy this because it's something that you can take with you on your infinite journey and activate its potential to the highest good, so that all that you meet will be positive, healthy experiences that benefit your soul. Ultimately, you will find the links below, the Quantum Love Experience. I'm going to be talking about this in the oncoming weeks in preparation for these events. They're going to be regularly available because it's important to love to the highest ability that you can possibly do on this planet. And it helps Earth, it helps yourself, it helps your families, it helps your connections to really establish positive, sacred experiences on Earth. Fabulous. And it's going to be available in English and Spanish. So I will be taking that experience on the road and through the ethers as well online. And it's an absolute joyous experience to live through you. So got that promotional bit out of the way. Welcome back, Harrison. Welcome back, Derek. How are you both?
Hi, Angela. Good to see you again. Hi, Harrison. Also good to see you again. Happy to be back here this week.
Yeah, hello guys. It's awesome to be here, and I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
We had a really positive experience, excuse me, last week, where we went back and revisited the first spiritual court of equity. And it was truly, truly stunning in terms of the experience that we all shared and transmitted to you. We went through a multifaceted soul resolution with ancient ancestors, inner earth, surface earth, and above all and through our experiences. And we were left in such peace. Now, every week on the Spiritual Courts of Equity, we achieve masses of change. And what that does is changes the outcomes here on the planet, because we're working at the level with the soul. And once we step outside of that and realize that we are never disconnected from the essence of our being, we are never disconnected from our souls, that we begin to operate at a higher function in full capability with Earth technology. And this is something that is an absolute gift for everybody, because many people have lost their way. So we must show them the way to themselves. And these spiritual courts of equity assist each individual soul to recognize their journeys. And it may take some time, because, you know, we are working in advance of the future. So, excuse me, without further ado, we are going to open a spiritual court of equity today to go through and sweep through the legal system. Derek, would you like to explain a little bit more about that, please?
Well, the legal system that we have on Earth right now is basically a hijacked system from the dark forces, enforcing their dark agenda and governance through their laws, which aren't the laws of mankind, but the laws of the fallen hierarchy.
Exactly.
So we're going to actually, this court is going to call forward all past judiciaries and members of the fallen system to adhere to their crimes against humanity.
I would like in this moment, thank you, to extend that to all souls that have previously worked in darkness, not by fault of their own, through coercion, through mind control, programming. But also I would like to extend this out to all those, now this is going to sound a bit strange, all those that previously worked with the dark for or through, and when I mean dark, I'm going to refer to domination and control. I want to bring in all those that were rejected by domination and control because they simply could not be trusted. Sorry. Did you feel that? Compared from the scene, the experience that three of us have just had, the energies coming through here are really like bolshy, they're rebellious, they're dense, they're angry. So it's a bit of a contrast when you read their data and they bring forth the emotional energies that govern their existence.
And I'd like to add in there also the temporal power that they've given to themselves by joining the dark side.
Yeah, and in that, the Luciferics will be there, the Luciferic control energies from Lemurian times that were seeded there, those that came into existence to this planet to create more domination and control behind the scenes, those who lost it, lost the ability to function correctly from the heart, from the sacred heart, who fell out of grace, false ascension paths, false belief systems, false tyranny created. And at the same time, we're just going to bring in and view Africa. All the solutions are in Africa. And what are your perceptions here, guys? as we observe all.
Well, what I will say is that the dark forces have raided Africa through time immemorial, starting with the mining of gold and minerals, and abused the people of Africa, and also try to suppress the natural organic understanding and insights that the peoples on the African continent have with their one true prime source creator God, saying that they the evil ones, they the ignorant ones, and pulling the wool over the eyes of the rest of the Western society in today's terms, about the natural organic people of every single land on earth, which Africa is a reflection of, because mankind originates from Africa.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. The moment you mentioned Africa, I could feel there are people, picking up drums and drumming them as they joined the court. They are quite happy to be here. And what Derek has said is true. And what's happening is that due to the change of God that has happened in the cosmopolitics and all that combined, right now the African nation and the Asian nations are on the rise, and the old guard is aware of this, and they are trying their level best to try to usurp this process, to undercut, to overpass, to do whatever they do best to make sure that they remain on the top. But they are quite frightened because whatever power is rising from, especially from Africa, it's gonna trounce whatever they have ever created within their lifetime, because Africans are natural creators within them whenever they are given that opportunity to create without being hammered by the politics, the wars, and the suppressions that comes with that.
Harrison, I absolutely agree with you. And when you mentioned the beating of drums, I could see people in almost looks like ritualistic costumes, with working with the animals of the African continent, and the beating of the drums is also hailing in the new energy that the court is opening up in this session to come through and to manifest. And also the beating of the drums is also symbolic of the fact that the energy and the message coming through in this session today is going to be broadcast silently to every single person on the continent and beyond.
That's wonderful. Into the spiritual court of day, I would like to include all those that have, through each epoch, disturbed the peace of the masses individually and collectively, and those to this day that still operate that. And I'd also like to include that those who would rather not see the organisation of peace that we have dismantled. There's some sneaky ones in there. It's like when you start recognising them from Earth, it's a strong story. But forgiveness is always a blessing for them.
Sometimes it takes so much love to care about these beings, because so many people have cared about them so much in the past, but it has come back to bite them in the back, because these beings pretend that they are changing, they are evolving, they are becoming better beings, and then all of a sudden they do 180-degree turn and do the opposite of what everybody was expecting them to do. So it's a thin line that we are trending, and the information that I'm getting is that everybody is tired of this game, because it's the same thing that's being done over and over and over again. And that's why it's necessary for the separation of densities, where if they choose to continue with their warring nature and them usurping them, cutting off people from their timelines and changing everything because they think they are gods, they be given their space to continue doing that. But those other beings that need to evolve past that and go to the next level, they also be given their own opportunity for them to advance that without having all things mashed up in the same space and causing stagnation for everybody, because nothing is growing, nothing is advancing, with that kind of energy.
Yeah, we've reached a kind of stalemate position. I just want to include there in the spiritual court of equity all those that consider themselves to be some sort of ideological god that makes decisions behind the scenes for others to live by. There's quite a few, quite a different subcategory going on there. Wow, I didn't expect that. So there's a great deal of shamanic trickery actually here. It's very interesting. They can shake rattles and all sorts.
The court is quite aware of the trickery, but bringing in the people that we have in the court of equity, nothing is hidden from them and everything is revealed for what it is.
So let's just bring in those that consider themselves to be illuminated already, that they do not require any form of audit whatsoever.
From my own perception, I think they are worse than anybody else in this court, because they think they're illuminated, but somebody on top of them is pulling the strings, making sure that they have a certain way kind of thinking to achieve a certain agenda that's wanted to be achieved. But given the stalemate that is here, they are gonna be receiving a huge shock, since some of them thought they were so illuminated they are gonna become super advanced being, only for them to be pushed into a realm that is gonna mash up them worse than they have been done here and now. So they are in a kind of a tricky position, where the information that they have been given, they think it's the truth, but it has been redacted, edited, and mashed up from different scripts, and they have a final document that's totally different than what reality is. So, and they're following it as their own true doctrine. So
that's an excellent way of putting it. They've got the wrong document. It's really funny.
I'll add to that, Harrison, is this group of people are actually being sorted out, and a lot of them have been influenced by mind control and artificial intelligence, and the artificial intelligence side of that they've absorbed into themselves over not just this lifetime, many lifetimes, is being severed. It's being deleted. Call it deleted. So they're going to be left with what they were originally, and that is their learning curve. So that will be their choice which way they're going to get next. But that artificial intelligence that has been with them, that has influenced them, is ending in this session right now.
Wonderful news. That's wonderful. Included into that would be all false projectors, the originators, who use holographic shifting to literally move energies, resources on a mind control level. And there are going to be, this is going to be interesting, because I want to include all those that have used the natural energies that flow through us, the source of our own creation of light, the misuse of the light, and the denigration of the light.
Will that also include, Angela, the dark force and dark fleet operating? They actually being closed down as we speak. And one of the main hubs in Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean has got a skeleton staff, and the deep fleets, call it that, operating through there's being shut down. So the certain supply chains off planet are going to cease to exist.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
That's,
And I'm also tempted to say that they are creating this system where after a very long time where they have bad-mouthed the ancestors by calling them the devil and the Satan and selling to every single person on the planet, they have created this system where you can talk to the dead, you know, and it's been marketed as the new trendy thing. And
but it's not.
it's not, you know, they take what is already created, the supernatural or the natural way of living, and they artificially create that, and it's way so below what is expected, because these are messages from a loved one that he has recorded, himself or herself. And then they use artificial intelligence to create the holographic image of that person, and then they start talking to you and chatting with you, and you're thinking you're talking to your departed spirit or your departed loved ones. You know, it's just a natural way of living.
It's very divisive and evil.
I'd like, sorry, Angela, carry on.
Yeah, it's just very divisive and evil to actually inflict that false connection. So let's include here all those that give false connections to destruction, despair, and suffering for each individual source incarnated soul.
And I'd like to add that, I'd like to add the people that are behind holographic projection of ancestral bloodline lineages. So so for the viewer watching this, for someone that's just passed and crosses over, what we call crossing over, and they're greeted by their family members, that they actually are not their real family members, but they are holographic forms. And the people standing on the other side when you arrive there are also holographic, telling you that you need a life review. We are sovereign beings and we do not need a life review, and be told that we have to come back to earth. So the holographic images of these people with mind control asserting this inverted commas sovereignty over humanity are also being dealt with in the court. And there is now another court being brought forward, especially to deal with this aspect of holographic projection from the dark and hoodwinking beautiful people that are crossing over through holographic images that they see. I think they're seeing a loved one. You can understand it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was getting.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, yeah. So what I was getting is that right now we're in a matrix, like a matrix 1, and when you die, you are thinking you're going into another wonderful kumbaya level, but it's matrix 2. So thinking that you're gonna break those frequency barriers that are there, and then they are using these holographic images to mash you up, giving you a false life review, and without even your contract being changed, you're back to the same thing, doing it over and over and over until you cannot handle it anymore, where the soul starts to have this mental illness and it starts to break down.
Yeah, absolutely. It does, because it loses hope.
Oof.
Or loses its ability to sentiently feel because of the disconnection to the sacred. And this comes from spiritual abuse, and there's a lot of it about. So let's include into that spiritual abusers who abuse the systems that we experience to move back and forth between the earthly planes, unhindered by any form of technology or any form of human spirit or soul or any diversionary tactic. And in this moment, anybody can perform their own life review. And that's by accessing the Sacred Heart. And it's not the easiest thing for people to do, because humanity has lost its sacredness en masse because of this level of control that has been initiated from these times beyond. So just all in those moments, this is something that all people can do who are watching this, all subscribers, all viewers. I found out 50% of our viewers aren't subscribed. Please do, because it gets exciting and we do new things all the time. But just look back at your life. How have you lived? How has it worked out for you? What would you change? What would you do differently? What would you make sacred? What is unsacred? So whatever is out there in the spiritual court of equity, we want to ensure that all non-sacred outcome actions are dealt with in the appropriate spiritual way. And just transmitting that strength to everyone that docks in to these moments. All.
That's beautiful, because I was getting this is one area, and it has heavily impacted Mother Earth, and it's a traumatic issue that has been done to her, so that she doesn't assist her children in terms of life review and planning and all that stuff, and to maintain that level of disconnection. So, and it's like we need to look into that and assist her to transmute this energy.
Right, that is coming. Let's have a look at the contracts for Earth then. What did Earth experience? How did she feel about this loss of sacred?
Sorry, Angela, I'd just like to add in what Harrison was saying, is that I'm picking up that these holographic projections for life reviews is not just from one source, it's from many planet sources, from different planetary systems, where the different factions have actually been fighting with each other for holographic control. So that is information is being brought forward to the court, and those centers that have fought for control over holographic projection, the centers themselves are being brought to book, so to speak, and are being dealt with.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's really great. What we just perceiving Earth sentience, because there is an element here, tiny fractional element that I'm picking up on, where everybody has a limit. Every being has a limit as to what they will take. And I want to investigate this on a planetary level. What limitations are in place for Earth Mother where she is disconnected or has been attempted to be disconnected by the lack of sacredness on Earth?
What I was getting is that to be able to trap Mother Earth, they used the natural laws of the universe that were in place at that time to get Mother Earth and these beings to have those contracts. And once they had those contracts in place, they started working slowly by slowly to usurp what Mother Earth was doing until they kicked her out in terms of planning the lifetimes of her children on the planet. And they placed their archons, their artificial intelligence and what have you of planning. So from that level, when somebody is coming to Earth, there's a significant chunk or there's a portion that they are not connected to Mother Earth. So by the time they are born, they already, that cord has already been severed, and then they go through the current medical system that deepens the effects of that through natural birthing systems and different chemicals and technologies that they're implementing all over. So, and we have to transmute this together with Mother Earth because there's so much she can do. You know, she can transmute, but if we are keeping on bringing it back over and over again, you know, she has to allow us to experience our own free will. But the moment we make a stand and say that these projections or these activities are done by a small group of people who perceive to own the rest of the population, and we assert our own free will, I believe most of these projections that are being done on Mother Earth will be sorted.
Yeah. So we're just bringing that into view, the originators of that. You know, these go back. I'm particularly looking at the contracts from Epoch 3 with Earth, because that's when the mass infiltration began, en masse. And I'm looking at that. I'm just scrolling through. Devastation has been designed upon her. That's the outcome initiated by the false gods, or domination and control, and has a Anu-Sumerian link there and propagator. These false gods are a bit of a pain in the arse, I will say that, to Earth personally. So what does she want to do? What does Earth feel is the correct universal way of removing this frequency from Earth? Good.
Well, let's call in our fellow brothers and sisters that are working with sound frequency and the beating of the drums. That is also protecting the court. So I'm just asking them to bring in the correct sound frequencies to shut down the frequencies they have used to ensure their programs, their dark programs, onto Earth itself. And they're going to be, I can hear the sounds changing, and the frequencies put out by these beautiful brothers and sisters in this court, shutting down the old frequency barriers and ladders, if you will. We're going to call them ladders as well, that are being, it's not going to happen right now, but it's going to take a bit of time, a couple of weeks, and they're just going to slowly close down this particular frequency ladder and fence.
That's beautiful, because what I was getting is that all the sentient beings on the planet were supposed to come together and with Mother Earth to be able to transmute. And also I have heard, or the court has decided that Mother Earth will be returned back to her rightful position in this court, where she can review every single contract that she made with every single of these beings. And from her own perspective and choice, she can be able to make the decision what next for her life, or whatever she wants to create. If she wants to allow them to continue with what they are doing, or if she wants them gone, it's up to her. And I'm getting that she's pushing for that balance where it's not the dark ruling the planet, and it has not shifted entirely to the light. It's like there's a balance between the dark and the light and the neutral, where we can have equal co-creation of every single being on this planet, and every single person's views and ideas and perceptions are respected and
I
honored.
just want to get to the court that the whales have joined the court as well, because they work particularly with sound frequency and the records of the earth. So they're bringing all the records to the forefront to be read and to be seen. They've also got the records of all the perpetrators, the records of the particular sound frequencies that Earth should be experiencing for the people to naturally experience more peace and harmony on Earth, including the animals and the flora kingdom. So they are going to be working particularly with this case of sound frequency closure and renewal.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So as that process takes place, you're going to see a dramatic unwinding of the time constructs around her and through her, whether they be magnetic, electric, or of other origin. It will be removed and deconstructed at the same time with the original earth coding of the technology that she is and that all of us are. So this is wonderful, and it's going to coincide with the human date of 12/12, and it will start a process that she will go through again, another phase on her journey. And this is a process of her recalibrating as a seventh seed, seventh dimensional planetoid, or planetet, because of femaleness. So that there are masses of unwinding of the binds of her contracts here from an observational perspective. And we can just see them just being phased out, deleted, removed. And there are a lot of false impositions that were put upon her, put upon humans, upon life on this planet. For it really was an experiment gone way out of control. And we have the source of all sources coming in again. The factions need peace. The people need peace. They are tired and disillusioned from all the control.
Puppet masters on earth running the different governments are also being brought in, past, present, and would-be future, because that's not going to happen now. So the puppet masters are also being brought to book.
Great news. And I can see that that's moving through very well. There are some alchemical overlays that are just going to be removed. And its digital presence wiped out.
Yeah, basically the moment you have said the digital presence, previously I was getting this information. They are using planet Earth's natural resources so that to have that signature frequency as they create this digital environment or universe, so that whenever it's time to shift everybody into that arena, they can have full control of it. But Earth Mother will be withdrawing all her signature frequency in terms of that, but she's gonna hold space for those who want to experience that kind of life, but also allow the other ones who wants to live this natural experience of life without being hammered or having war on their doorsteps every single point when they try to outcreate the system. She's gonna assist those to experience their own way. So it's like she'll be in two places at the same time. It's quite interesting, or one of the abilities that she holds.
But also it's an ability that we hold too.
Yeah.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's fantastic. But it wouldn't be fun, being in both the digital realm and the natural realm. It doesn't sound fun where in one realm you're being hammered and the other one you're living a natural life, but let's wait and see what's gonna happen. Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you, Harrison. I'd just like to remind the viewers that a digital world is an unnatural world. Just the same way is that if you get a ship from another planet and it's made of various metals, that is from a digital world. It's not from the natural, true, organic world, because from the highest perspective, anything that is made out of different components of various metals and minerals, those minerals themselves obviously is organic in nature, but it's been manufactured into another form. So the true natural form would actually be living light. And if something's not consciously made out of living light, then it is part of the darker, fallen, technological, digital world.
I fully agree with you there, Derek. That was very well put indeed. It's not natural, and its very presence on Earth, these unnatural minerals, we see them sprayed across the moon, preventing the natural organic flow of light. So you're absolutely correct about that. It affects the consciousness of every single living being on the planet.
And the plant and even the mineral kingdom and animal kingdom, all the kingdoms.
Right, so what I'm getting here is that there are several layers to this that they are dealing with in the court. There's another 5 layers here to work through. But then once that resolves and integrates, it's a very dense picture from these past incidences. It was always the plan for them to do this, what people are experiencing now.
Yeah, I was also getting this perception. What is the report that we should be getting from the other worlds that are within this planetary being that we are living in? Because the other worlds within what we are living in, and they too have their own perception. And I think it's the highest time we draw them in the court, because we do something else here and they have other plans that, and they might want to usurp or do something that will negatively impact us or whatever they want to do. So I think it's the highest time we draw also the other worlds to come here, understand that this is our free will, and they need to honor what we have.
Absolutely. So please initiate that, Harrison, while I have a drill drilling through my earwaves.
Well, I'd say, Harrison, on another perspective completely, as you draw in that specific scene, the court working on a different level, I would say another part of you is working in that court, so you've been made aware of it. So yes, you are represented in one of the courts of equity on another dimensional level, working to bring this about.
That's excellent to hear, and wow, that's beautiful. And I'm also they are coming in, and they are the same old guys, but they are happy to join the court to see what we are doing. But some of them, since they have lived for so long on the planet, they have had different experiences here. Some of them think they are a bit superior than the rest of us. Some of them are very loving. So we have different mixtures of these beings. And Mother Earth is also present with us. And it's like none of them are fighting what we have decided in the court. Like it's being made crystal clear to them that when we want these beings gone, it's not up to them to go and usurp what Mother Earth has decided and find channels and portals to bring them back in, as they have done time in the past.
Yes, they are tired also. So what has been happening with Harrison is that basically week on week for the last year, we've been engaging in some techniques and some expansions. So the more of your infinite expansion that takes place on the inner levels, the more you're able to access the higher levels of resolution and data, reading and moving forward. So it really shows that you've gone and moved into these arenas of negotiations, ancestral resolutions, interdimensional resolutions, which is really amazing. I just would like to say that. And it's that is available to you through Concordia spiritual activation. We know the fast track to get you to where you want to be without very little fuss, just takes commitment and determination. And Derek and Harrison have done exactly that with this spiritual courts of equity process. So I commend you, it's excellent. Really excellent.
That's amazing, yeah.
So let's just have a look at the percentage of sacred peace. I just want to make these guys an offer of that, because I know that they're weary and tired. We all are. It's beyond boring, actually, and I'm sure they're equally bored, if not more. So I'm going to offer them an opportunity to expand as the same as everybody here today who joins us, past, present, or future. And what do you read from the data?
What I read from the data is that our brothers and sisters in the court that are working with the sound, which would be the beating of drums, working with animals, have created, say, if one would see them in a circle, the circles actually split into two, creating a passageway for these beings, people, to pass through as they make their decisions and choices where they would like to be led to next. Are they going to join the light, or they're going to stay on the dark side? That is their choice.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm getting a 40% take up on this offer so far, which is good.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm still asking them, are they still following up with a plan of reducing the planet to the 500 million people, you know? It's good to get their perception, to hear what they're thinking, but Madad is going like, nah, that's not gonna be achieved anytime soon.
Well, let's see. Would you like to put that to the test in this time today? Because we are unlimited.
Yeah, you're very unlimited. And what has happened is that they have put a plan in place to trim the population, and they think it's coming to fruition. But there's this wild card that often plays in some of these situations where when you think you are destroying the population, it's like they multiply 10 times. Yeah.
I see the
Yeah.
backfiring coming. It's already here with us. So 500 million, let's have you all there.
I would just like to mention here, as Angela mentioned, the court is working on many levels. So very importantly, what has transpired in this sitting, that the puppet masters and the people, men and women, trying to exert their power and control over the majority of the population on earth today have already in this sitting gone through the court, and their decision has been made whether they're joining the light or the dark, and they are being processed. So the bodies, the physical bodies, might and are definitely still in their positions on earth, but the decisions on a higher level that they and choices that they have made in this sitting have been finalized, and this is the work of the court in this session, and it's taken a lot of organization behind the scenes to get this work done that seems so easy and so simple. The way that we talk and the way that we speak is in effect an incredible amount of organization getting all the records, getting all the books, processing these beings, and actually giving them the freedom of their decisions. And that is finalized in this session as I speak.
Thank you, Derek, for your observation. It's very valued because that is the process. And we are literally engaging with all aspects of ourselves as spiritual beings in this process to facilitate its rapid movement in this way. And this represents our infinite intelligence that is within us, that when we are fully connected, we can achieve so much more than we'd ever dreamed possible. Because once we reach a certain limit, we keep going beyond, expanding within, which brings us the results on the external levels. And I did a short earlier on this week, is because this is huge for every single living soul, is that we all have the potential to resolve all issues that we come in with, past, present, future, in our lives, and that with everybody that we meet in life on this infinite voyage, we make resolution with them. And we can create that with the spiritual courts of equity. And it's a beautiful process, and it brings you peace in your life. And you start to begin to work from a different level once that process has been completed. So in the oncoming year, I'm going to be offering spiritual courts of equity training, specifically designed to assist your resolution here on earth for yourself, for your family, for your communities, for your lineages, because this is important for your own infinite development and really paving the way for other journeys that are not just resolution based. This is your creation of your own existence into the infinite and beyond. And anytime you hit a level, you just keep going beyond it. Just keep moving through at this vast pace. And it defies all belief systems, but it's great.
I'd just like to add to the viewers out there, this is your incarnation. And as it's your incarnation, it's your free sovereign will to decide for yourself what you would like to experience, or your dreams are and what you would like to advance forward to. So it's your decision, it's available now.
Yeah, it's true. And it's, do you want to enjoy yourself or not? Do you want to experience incredible love? Do you want to experience joy, satisfaction, development, progression within your inner being? My answer is yes. I'm no hesitation. Oh dear. Right, we've got tremendous peace moving through the spiritual courts on earth right now. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to add that the book, the golden book, as I call it, comes out, and the court is signing off on this particular session as they carry on with their work on the other multi-dimensional levels.
That's beautiful, because I was getting this guy is now beating the drum in a kind of a rhythm to show that everything is coming to an end. If you have watched these drum dancers, like from Africa, there's this rhythm they use when they are coming to an end of a session, and it's harmonious, beautiful, and it'll leave the spirits of the people uplifted and very happy. And that's the scene I was picking.
That's so beautiful. Honestly, it's the rhythm, the heartbeat, the sacred heartbeat of Earth has been reinitiated and reinvigorated. at the depth that is required to be sacred for all beings, because she teaches us that in those moments of stillness where we look at the wind, the sky, the ground, the sun, and all universal elements. It's the journey, and it should, for all beings, be a peaceful, sacred, and beautiful one. So I just want to transmit that to every single person that docks in today. Such is the beauty of existence. May we all be blessed moving forward. It makes me really happy doing that.
That's wonderful.
No, you could just cry. I could. So it's a very in-between zone that we're in on Earth at the moment. It's very transitionary, and how we are in our lives is key to the overall growth and development of where Earth needs to be in her own voyage, just like ours, because it's the same voyage. And each voyage of free will needs to be honoured accordingly from a sacred level.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Angela and Harrison.
Beat the drums.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So if you made it this far into the voyage of this week's broadcast, please do leave a like, tune in to the channel, click a notification bell, and it will tell you when we do random things, bring out new videos, new awarenesses, new lessons, new teachings, and it all helps on this voyage of utilising our sacredness, our being, to the fullest potential and beyond. So thanks, everyone. Any last words, guys?
I would say this peace that has been experienced on this court continue being with our viewers and every single person who would choose to experience this. You know, you cannot be told about the peace, you have to experience it for yourself to know and understand what it is.
It's very true. It's very true. Derek?
What I will say to the viewers, I'm sending a hologram of light through to everybody that's watching the session. And with the hologram of light that I'm sending through, you will be experiencing deeper love and peace in your life. So that frequencies being shared with you all.
I'd love to add to that. Thank you, Derek. It's that I want to share, and I've been doing it anyway, but that sacred frequency for all life, for unconditional love through this, all the soul groups, all races, all cultures. Not even a drilling sound will interfere with that energetic, let's say, transmission.
All right, I'm going to go, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. There was something I was going to say. I can't actually remember it. To the viewer, Do subscribe, share. We're the only ones doing it. This has been Concordia, Consularis, the spiritual and business agency of the fifth world of peace. Thank you all very much. Tune in again and do like, please.